So, in that sense, Pinko the Bear, of course, we've invited you here in the spirit of building leftist unity, strength, and power. In that spirit, thanks for being willing to join me. Thanks for being willing to share your story. And of course, we have the Leftist Inquisition and hopefully some more time at the end of chat. We usually keep it at about an hour, so that means we've got plenty of time. And we get to begin then with just the basics, which is like, how are you? How you doing? How's your day?
I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Life is good as long as you can keep it. I people on my channel know I've got some health problems, some heart issues, and can't walk 6 blocks without suffering, I guess would be the word.
Gosh,
anyway,
sorry.
So every day is good, and I'm okay, and I'm doing better than some people I know, and I could be doing better, and as we all could, if we maybe get rid of capitalism, we could all be doing better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I know you're okay because I've been watching you.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry to hear you're going through that shit. That's fucking extra. That's awful.
I'm old. Things fall apart.
Oh gosh. So then what I love to ask is how we know each other. And I think it's just like, you're a streamer on the platform. I'm a streamer. I think you've been around longer than me. I don't know actually about that. I started just COVID, about a year ago.
COVID, right? Like January.
Just like everyone, right? Sort of jumped in on this thing. And I think we have probably a different streaming schedule. When do you stream here on the Twitch?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, midnight to 5. Mrs. Bear would like me to, be in the bed by 4:20, but that doesn't really happen because there's some raid that comes in at 4:15, and then we're on for another hour. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, midnight to 4 or 5 in the morning, and then on Thursdays I start early at 8 p.m. and go as long as I can because at 8 o'clock there's always a Workers' World Party webinar or discussion that I'm a member of Workers' World, so I always put that on Twitch. It's a Zoom meeting, a public meeting, but I put it on Twitch, and I like to expose people to the ideas and the concepts and the discussions from my party on Twitch.
The Workers' World, awesome. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll be able to dig more into that. If not now, hopefully later, because Pinko the Bear, the spirit of the show is very much in this the sense that we're getting to know you here in this round 1 interview, and we're planting seeds, and hopefully we'll be able to return again, see what's grown, and maybe see what new seeds need to be planted as well. Effectively, this is an invitation to an open conversation to yourself and my comrades, and we're trying to turn this space into a productive space. And I've really enjoyed this project so far. Yeah, it's hard work. Doesn't come naturally to me. So
really,
okay, yeah. Takes work. I want to yell at people all the time.
Oh, well, that's what the weed is for.
Oh, baby.
like really? Come on.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
Yeah. I often end up expressing myself more angrily than I want to, and then the next stream it'll be like, "Oh, tonight with 47% less vitriol." Yeah.
Yeah. There's just so many people who shout at their cameras all day, and I really don't want to be one of them. Trying my best. It's so hard. It's so hard too. Okay. Then we get to dig into where are they now? Pinko the Bear. So, if you don't mind, surprised we haven't done so already. Introduce your name and your pronouns, you do, where people can find you, etc., etc.
So, my name is A Bear, like 3 bears, 2 bears, 1 bear. But when I'm on the microphone or in the cybersphere, I'm Pinko the Bear, like Pinko Kami, right? Like reclaiming the slur, so to speak. And I spend more time on Facebook than less now, but A Bear Whole Hut, HOLHUT, A Bear Whole Hut on Facebook. If anybody wants, follow me, but my page is public, so that's the best way to understand like what I'm doing and who I am, and et cetera, because it's all public. There's no secrets here. If Twitter is kind of inactive. I use it, but mostly just to retweet other people that I know that I like.
That's organizing, right?
What's that?
I think that's organizing. I don't know. I have a very loose understanding of. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Organizing means a lot of things to a lot of different people in different spaces, right? It can mean a lot of different things, but in the end, it's the catch-all of getting your shit together to fight for what's good for workers, what's good for our class, the working class. You know. Mm-hmm. So whether that's a union thing or organizing a demo or a May Day rally or a Free Mumia, weekend, like, organizing is a lot of different things, or Food Not Bombs, right? Mutual aid organizing. So it means a lot of things.
For sure.
He, him, Marxist, Leninist. And I live in New York City, and my party is Workers World, though my stream is my personal stream. It's not a party stream. Right. So,
Cool. Love it, dude. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of what you go over on your channel? Maybe what a typical stream is like. Tell us what we might expect.
So I use this as a way to cope with COVID.
Yeah. And
to agitate at the same time, right? To not just like I don't want to do news. I'm not a news person. There's plenty of people out there doing news, but I want to do analysis or grab other people who I like, people that I know and I trust, grab their analysis of this situation, So I'm very, very anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist, and all that implies and all that means. And sometimes I have to define that because a lot of people have a lot of loose ideas about what this or that is. And so anyway, it's always working class content, like things that are designed to raise consciousness. Mm-hmm. But we also have squirrel moments where I just go, something comes in my head, and some next thing you know, we're looking at restored video from 1904 in going down San Francisco on a cable car that's been restored to 60 FPF using what do you call it, machine learning, or whatever, or we play the duck song or whatever I feel like. So we do silly shit.
Squirrel. I like squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. Like we did an hour and something on Mamiya events this weekend in Philly, and it's pretty heavy. So what are we going to do after that? Well, we're going to play the duck song, or we're going to play some punk rock, or some house music. So
it's a lot of fun. That sounds like a good time for sure. Like a nice chill hangout. Doesn't have to be entirely serious all the time. I like that.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to do the teaching thing where I'm the professor and I'm like, I guess it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And nobody wants to be preached to, right? But I will read short things that will put people's like, oh, I didn't know about that. Let me check this link out. And I just try to offer up ideas and roll with whatever's happening.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That's definitely comes with my suggestion. Chat. Make sure you're following Pinko the Bear here. So I don't know. What else keeps you busy hobby wise? Like what else do you like to do?
Right now I don't. Well, hobby is learning how to stream. Like literally the lighting and the cameras and the monitors and the blah 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 and the Discord and all that. All brand new to me. I did not know that Twitch existed. Did not know Discord existed a year and 3 months ago. I'm not a gamer. I literally still play Red Alert 3.
Nice.
Old man plays old games. Oh. And people that I used to play with in 2008 are on the server and still play. So it's great. I lost track of a lot of people when I really got serious with politics, because I quit playing games. And when I really got more serious a number of years ago, put away a lot of stuff. So the other thing that I would want to mention is right now we're in the middle of organizing May Day here in New York City.
All right.
Big May Day events. I'm on that's why I had to change. I couldn't be here yesterday because I was on a call. I'm on the logistics committee. And so we're running sound among other things, but we're the logistics committee. There's a security committee, a speakers list committee. There's all, So that's what we're doing. May Day's a big deal. And then there's sign making sessions and yada, yada. And so that made, International Workers' Day is a big deal. And especially here in New York, we're going to be at Union Square. And so that's what's keeping me busy right now. There you go. Right there.
May Day.
You're in Chicago, right?
I am in Chicago.
You should know a little something about the Haymarket Affair.
Oh, I've one of the best places to get a burger in the city is right there.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's called Old Cheval, but that is right across the street from the Haymarket Brewery.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I used to live at McClurg Court down in Streeterville.
Hey, really? Wow.
Yeah, I ran a nightclub down there at the North Pier for 5 years.
Wow.
Baja Beach Club. You might not be old enough. This was like 92 to 97.
Rings a vague bell. I don't know.
16,000 square feet.
Yeah.
B96 was the big thing at the time. And
yeah.
Bill and Jumpin' Julian Perez and all those guys.
Yeah. Someone's got to run that place.
Oh, my God.
Awesome. That is fascinating.
Yeah, but I loved Chicago.
Yeah. How long were you here?
92 to 97.
Okay. Well, 5 years stint. Beautiful.
Pre-politics. I was liberal, but I wasn't political. Right?
Oh, man. It's almost worse than being liberal and political. It is worse. I will say it. All right. Depends. I don't know. Okay. So, all right, Pinko the Bear. That means we come to our leftward bound portion of the discussion. We get to talk about your pathway to leftism. I've always found this a great way to meet other leftists and hear their story. And even if I don't relate with them, it demonstrates many different pathways. So you don't have to define your ideology or politics if you don't want to, but you're encouraged to. You mentioned you're Marxist-Leninist. You're with the Worldwide Workers' Party, the IWW?
I was in the IWW for a number of years.
Okay.
But
this is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Workers' World Party, and the website is workers.org. It's a Marxist-Leninist party that's been around since 1959.
Workers.org.
Yeah, that's our website.
Oh.
All sorts of, there's, 6 stories a day that go up on our website, a couple thousand a year, all categories all over the world. Also, there's books, there's classes, there's all sorts of stuff there. Archives going back for forever. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good source. It's the kind of place I wish more people would read, not because I want everybody to join my party, and if they want to, great, but it's working class news and analysis. It's not bourgeois, for-profit stuff, right? And it's made by workers. Everything, all the layout, just everything that goes into this paper, and it's good, solid information. It's the kind of thing I wish we had more of. And there's a few other good working class papers that are out there, different tendencies.
That's fantastic, and thank you for sharing that with us.
My pleasure.
A-Bear. So, well, what else? Let's keep digging in. You've mentioned the Workers' Party there, and I think that was in the middle of me asking about, you perhaps discussing your pathway to leftism, including
keep me on track,
including ML. No, I forgot it. That's literally why we do this. This is okay. This is why I have the format. Otherwise, I get lost. I'm easily lost. Yeah. So what do you think? Your pathway to leftism?
So capitalism. Capitalism made me who I am today. I mean, look, I grew up in a Nixon household, Nixon law and order household, conservatives, right? And white suburbs in the 60s and 70s. And so, when it came time to vote, I voted for Reagan in my first year. Reagan twice. That's how dense I was. I didn't, what did I know? I was 18. But we didn't have the internet then. So I did what I was told. Anyway, and I went through that. I went through a libertarian phase, and then I went through a independent, and then a kind of nihilistic give no fucks phase. I did all of that. And I kind of skipped over being a liberal, I liked Bernie Sanders. I liked what he says, but nothing that he says, I don't want to get into that, but I skipped over that, and I went into anarchism. And I really, really thought that this was the answer. And I stayed there for about 10 years and was doing a blog talk radio show on the internet, on the interwebs, when it was a thing, when it first blog talk radio. So I did that for a number of years, like 7 years, I guess.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then eventually I was won over to the communist. I swore I'd never be one. I was afraid. Words like authoritarian, scared me. All of the things that I hear people say on Twitch a lot, right? Left but being in the streets and working with actual revolutionary socialists in the streets on various issues. When I moved to New York about 9 years ago, whatever it was, when I moved here and I started showing up at all these rallies and doing things, I kept noticing the people who made the most sense to me and that had the fire and knew what they were doing, and right. And then all those people, even though they were in different groups, they all worked out of a place called the Solidarity Center. And who doesn't like it? Who doesn't like a place called the Solidarity Center, right?
Sounds good.
And so I started coming around there, and then I realized they're all communists. I mean, there's some anarchists here and there, right? And there were some people who were undefined, but the people who were doing things, who were making it happen, they were all communists. And so they won me over, and they patiently explained I had all sorts of questions. But what about? Well, I heard that, right? All of those things. And they won me over by what they were doing, by their practice and their ability to be kind and be patient and walk me through the things that I didn't understand or I misunderstood and was clinging to because I was comfortable with it. So that's how I ended up where I'm at, is because the people I was fortunate enough to get involved with when I moved to Chicago, or when I moved to New York City in 2014, when I moved here, they won me over. And so that's how I got here.
I love that story.
It's good. It's a good story. It's my story. It's true. Could be your story too.
Ooh.
Could be everybody's story.
I'll be right there in New York. Just meet the revolutionary socialists.
You can do it in Chicago.
All right.
I'll put you in touch.
I'll be honest. I think I did it on Twitch. Okay, but
there you go.
Go ahead. Love it. All right. Well, what else? Let's keep digging in. Anything else? Historical, your personal experiences, leftist theory or thinking, anything along the way that pulled your heart and your mind to the left? Pinko the Bear. Hey, man.
But it's never, well, for some people, it's one thing. It's their, and I hate to say it, but it's some tragic event, with the police, right? Or losing their house in a financial, meltdown because of Wall Street, right? It's one thing. Other people, it takes a bunch of different things. So for me, I graduated from the University of Texas in 1987, but if you check the Wikipedia, you might have noticed there's a huge meltdown of Wall Street in 87, right? Black Monday, they call it. Stock market went from like 1,600 to 400 in a week. Like, guess what? No jobs in finance. Finance major, double major in finance and real estate. Gonna be a millionaire by the time I was 30. Oh, I had plans. Anyway, so these crashes, and then 9/11 fucked up plans to own my own nightclub. The main investor pulled out because he wanted to move back to the mainland. I was living in Hawaii at the time. Anyway, there's just a series of problems that capitalism has caused, these cyclical issues. And then they act like, oh, well, it's just part of capitalism. It's the boom and bust cycle, as if that's okay. I got an idea. How about we have a system that doesn't boom and bust? Can we try that? Anyway, so all this shit just interfered with my plans in life. Yeah. And it just kept knocking me down. And, when you start showing up to things, you get radicalized. When you start paying attention, you go from being a collectivist. Oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? Oh, look at that. That's terrible. Somebody should do something. You go from being a collectivist to maybe being an activist. to showing up, making signs, you know, and then maybe being an organizer, organizing those things, and being a communist. There's a trajectory, and nobody comes to politics fully formed, and so people should. I don't know. People should. I'm not the boss of anybody, but there's a trajectory that seems to happen, and that I've noticed, and I love it that the word socialism is and communism is okay in public discourse now, because for most of my life it was not. In the 80s and the 90s, right? It was just not a thing. You don't talk about it. But there's a whole generation or two of people who have grown up not in the Cold War, and they're not afraid of it. And capitalism is kind of coming to its natural conclusion. Capitalism at a dead end, so to speak. We're in late stage capitalism. We have all sorts of just ridiculous problems, and capitalism can't and won't solve them. And more people are coming to see that. Richard Wolff is a perfect example. He couldn't get a speaking engagement outside of his university at Amherst to save his life 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 30 years ago. And now, you know, he's 78 years old and he's doing 100 interviews a week, right? That tells you something.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I could go on and on, but I'll be
I would love to have you go on and on, honestly, Bear, but I think that's actually a good one to put a pin in and keep talking about and let you go on. Maybe our next chat, because this is all just wonderful, and I'm loving the chat, buddy.
Oh.
So let's well, anything else that you would point to? So we've pointed at you know, you've had this experience along your life where at one point it's a little bit weird, scary talking about being a socialist or a communist. That's changed now. What an amazing thing right there. I would love to dig into that. But anything else you wanted to point at in terms of your leftward bound journey that pulled your heart and your mind to the left?
Well, Occupy was a big deal.
Okay.
Right. I was unemployed because of the crash and lost my housing. And, you know, I had left the nightclub business. I was very secure for about 20 years.
Okay.
From the time I was 18 when I started DJing full time in nightclubs, from 1982 to 2002, super secure. Was a professional DJ. I got literally the only job I had was playing music for other people to dance to. I mean, come on. Yeah, no stress, right? That's why I look so young.
Yeah, dude.
I'm 58.
That's awesome. Like you got a shit ton to be proud of.
But then I entered the actual real world. I'm like, I don't want to do this stuff anymore. It's like whatever. And oh my God, capitalism sucks. And so Occupy happened and all this shit. So I got involved in that in Reno. And basically that's when all the people who give a shit met each other in whatever community you were, because there was Occupy everywhere, right? Like 200 and something cities had some sort of encampment. The people who gave a shit about things started showing up, and it had its problems, and it had its shortcomings and its contradictions. It really did, but it gave us some language. 99%. It was kind of the first wave, and then the Mike Brown and Eric Garner, the Black Lives Matter, Ferguson, all of that, right? Mm-hmm. Baltimore, all the rebellions and uprisings, all of that was another point on the timeline, right? Or another series of points. And then, well, Minneapolis, like the wars, the wars, the constant imperialism. But when you start to why do we still going to war? Why are we still doing this? Why blah, 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 blah? Well, the answer is capitalism, and specifically imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism. And there's a whole book about it written about 100 years ago, 150 years ago.
Never heard of it.
Never heard.
Nope.
It's Lenin. So imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's a foundational text for Marxist Leninists, things like that, State and Revolution. You know, anyway, and this is not, and it's not something that people will take on reading by themselves just for fun, right? You have to have a reason to read it, and it's nice to have somebody to explain some of the language and study it with. So, but when you start putting it all in a global context instead of just, oh, here's some corruption and here's a bad person, that's a bad actor. This politician just lied and got bought off. It's all about the lobbyists. It's all about end the Fed. What a crock of shit that is. But people cling to all of these things, and they're looking at the symptoms instead of looking at the root of the problem. And so it's a system of private ownership of the means of production. That's the system. It's the mode of production. And anything, it's not bad cops, and it's not mistakes. Vietnam wasn't a mistake. Iraq was not a mistake.
Yeah.
From the ruling class's point of view, those were successes. Afghanistan, not a mistake, because the ruling class has a different agenda than the working class. Mm-hmm. So these are the kind of things that made a lot of sense and make sense to me. And as I learned about them, I started dropping some of the things that I used to believe and used to think about, or used to think were true. Mm-hmm. So,
oh, this is great. I do this thing where I just take notes, like a random word that you say here and there, just so it helps me actually to pay attention and all. And I'm like, this is like so wonderful. It also sort of tells me like what seeds we get to revisit next time we talk, because this is all very fascinating, and I'm loving getting to know you here. But again, the good shit is when we get to dig in. Oh, it's going to be good. Okay. All right. So Pinko the Bear, a bear.
Yes.
We now come to the portion of the conversation which we call #BeBest. And, we allow you to distill your life experiences into perhaps an insightful life lesson, or you distill your pathway leftward into a helpful lesson, or a combination of the two, or whatever you want. You can imagine speaking to a younger version of yourself, or just generically anyone listening. There's a lot going on there.
I'm so jealous of your beard. I brought a comb so I can keep myself neat, because you have such an epic beard.
I gotta brush it. I got a big old brush.
Shall we just groom a little bit?
Let's just groom.
If we're gonna be best, we should groom, I think.
Yeah. I use this big brush. It's just, there's a lot of it.
Look at you with the big brush.
The one thing I'm good at is growing hair, so I figured I'd just lean into it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, it's great. It's great. So now I've forgotten the question. Be best.
Lessons.
Look, I say this thing on my stream, and in real life, I say it all the time. My younger self, I'm 58. I'll be 59 this summer. And I would have really disliked my 48-year-old self. My 48-year-old self would have disliked my 38-year-old self, 28, going back. Like, we're always growing. We're always changing. We're always learning. Hopefully we're drawing the correct lessons and moving leftward, right? Being more engaged rather than less engaged, being more optimistic rather than being more pessimistic, having revolutionary optimism. So one of the things, I guess I would say that we all need to remember when we encounter people who don't have our politics and whose politics are maybe to the right of us, be kind. As kind as you can. I mean, don't be kind to chuds. There's never be kind to chud day, right? Be kind to Nazi day. It's not a thing. But people who are apolitical or just learning or are asking questions in good faith, maybe they came from Chudville and they're done, or they're looking because it doesn't satisfy them. Don't do the where were you thing. Where were you during? Where were you? Don't late shame. Don't late shame people. Just be, and you voted for Reagan twice? Fuck you. God, the F word. Edit that out for YouTube.
Fucking no. You swear as much as you fucking want.
Oh, fucking great. Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm sorry you felt that way. No, fucking fuck.
But the thing is, don't late shame people.
Yeah.
Right. Don't make them feel uncomfortable. I had some pretty bad takes when I started coming around in 2014, and I would ask the communists, the leading people that I got to meet in the party, or different organizations that were in the orbit of the party, and we'd go and have a beer, and I would ask them and blah blah blah, and what about this, and da, da, da. And they were patient, and we drank, and they were kind. They didn't say, Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck are you on about? They didn't belittle me for believing some really ridiculous things. And so I think, and I'm not the patron saint of being patient, right? But I'm trying. And it's, I would encourage other people to try.
Be patient, be kind.
Yeah.
Hey, Bear, beautiful advice. Thank you for that. So,
my pleasure.
Yeah, so that brings us now to the Leftist Inquisition. That's right, it's the questionnaire. Everyone loves it, no one hates it. It's the Inquisition. All right. You ready, buddy?
The Inquisition.
Oh.
I expected the Inquisition.
I should have a little song.
You should. You should have the Monty Python bit.
There's a bit?
You don't know about Monty Python? No one expects the Inquisition?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember. There's like a little song that went with it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, maybe I could pull that sound effect out and definitely weave that in. Okay. That gives me some ideas. I love it. Thank you, A-Bear. That's good. Okay. So, A-Bear, Pinko the Bear, do you have a favorite word?
Fuck,
right?
So
I'm sorry you felt like you couldn't say it before.
So useful.
I was keeping you from your favorite word.
Well, I know that you're uploading segments to YouTube, and I'm assuming that you monetized that. And so
not yet.
Oh, not yet. Right.
Is that a fucking thing on YouTube?
I think it might be.
I just made it fucking harder. There I go again. Fuck.
But see, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't.
Okay.
I have an account, but I quit using it.
All right. There's another question. Gosh, dude, I need another note card. All right. So, okay. Fuck. I'll just write fuck with a question mark, and I'm going to look back at that, and that's not going to make any sense. Okay. I might as well write YouTube. There we go. Okay. Next question. Do you have a least favorite word? Fucking word.
I thought about this, actually. I mean, generally I don't, but since I knew this question was coming, authoritarian. Yeah. And maybe not for the purpose that, like a lot of people will say, well, yeah, that's a bad word because I hate authoritarians. I have a different take on it.
Oh.
I have a different take on it. I hate when people use authoritarian as a way to put down Marxist-Leninism. I loathe it. Is a red flag to me of somebody who hasn't really developed politically and doesn't understand what's up. There's a great article, I've covered it on my stream, and called On Authority. I think it's by Engels, and you can get it anywhere PDF files are available online. Marxist Internet Archive, perhaps. But just put, have these gentlemen ever seen a revolution, in quotes, and you'll find it. Have these gentlemen ever seen a revolution? And so people who use authoritarian as a derogatory term about revolutionaries have some learning to do. And so in my view, and this is a really good text on why. Anyway, it's towards the bottom, and it's not important to go through it now. But yeah, have these gentlemen ever seen a revolution? It is certainly the most authoritarian thing ever, right? It is. It's you're using force to literally remove the people who are running things and owning things and ruling things. They used force to bring down the kings and queens, right? We used force to bring down the Confederacy. Okay. The Russians used force to bring down the Tsar. The Vietnamese used force to kick out the imperialist. The Chinese revolutionaries used force. But paint them as authoritarian? Well, yeah. I don't know. Do you see where I'm going with all that?
Yes.
It's like the Castro and Che and them used force. Authority, the final authority. So people who cry about authoritarian, generally haven't thought it through, in my view. And I want to be as kind as possible, because be kind, right? Yeah. But that's my least favorite word.
Authoritarian.
Fuck.
Fucking good word. That's another really good one I'd love to continue chatting about someday. So we get to continue then to the drug, vice, or guilty pleasure, or you can name one of each. Do you have a favorite?
Guilty pleasure. Glee.
Yeah, Glee. What, the show
Glee? Glee on weed. Glee on weed is a guilty pleasure.
It sounds like that's like a Facebook group. It should be.
Have these gentlemen ever seen Glee on weed? The other thing is, I was a nightclub DJ for 20 years full time, 5 nights a week, 6 hours a night in a DJ booth. And so there might have been some MDMA in my life.
Well,
going back to when it was $5 a hit. $5 a hit. Speaking of the money, $5 a month.
Take a few of those
sorry,
things,
I just won't let that go. But yeah, it was $5 a hit, and it was totally legal. Totally legal. Back in the day. 82, when I started spinning, they didn't make it illegal until like 86, 87, 88. I don't know. They made it illegal. Why? Well, because people were having fun with it, and anyway, and that was a big part of house music culture.
Yeah.
And I played a lot of house music. So,
yeah,
it was a big part of it. However, I want to give a shout out to Ghost Coalition.
Yeah.
For saying candy flip the other day. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I knew I liked this. I knew I liked this Ghost. Right? But I want to go one further. I want to go one more. I'm gonna take it to another level.
Yeah. The
Triple Crown. Anybody? Class? Anybody? The Triple Crown. You can candy flip, but if you really want to go hard, you do the Triple Crown. It's the MDMA, the acid, and the mushrooms. And if you do that, have some trusted friends who aren't doing the Triple Crown and do it at Burning Man.
You been to Burning Man, huh?
10 years.
Just 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years ago, you went for 10 years. I'm so sorry. I walked all over.
No, I went for 10 years. I had a theme camp, or was part of a theme camp for 9 of those years.
What's a theme camp?
Oh,
like your camp set up and had like a whole fucking theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because the idea there is everything is art. Everybody who goes there participates, brings art, supports art. So we had 2 different types of theme camps over the years, and it was a core group of people, and other people came in and out, and you'd set up and have all your props. And like my first one was Apocalyptica. It was a Russian outpost in Afghanistan, but they did not get the word that the war was over. So they were still had their outpost. So we all talked in bad Russian accents. We drank fucking vodka all week and Pabst Blue Ribbon. We drank PBR, and we had a bar, a cantina, the Apocalyptica cantina. Yeah. And we had, like toy guns that we made, like machine guns and artillery and camo nets. And anyway, it was a thing. And we did that for like 6 years. And then we did a sideshow, kind of a carnival sideshow, freak show, Freaks, Geeks, and Freaks, Geeks, and I forgot what the third thing is. But anyway, So magicians and sword swallowers and putting nails through their nose and magic tricks and all of this. Because that's Burning Man. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to go put on some fancy clothes and hang out with my Instagram model and go listen to somebody DJ. Like that's like this much of Burning Man. But the conception is it's different, anyway.
Oh, that's so cool.
Get me started on Burning Man.
Oh, that's so cool. I'd love to talk about Burning Man.
It's been canceled this year, by the way. They said they were going to do it. Now it's been canceled, which is a good thing.
Yeah, for the safety.
Yeah.
For the safety. Okay. All right. Hey, Bear. The next question is about noises. Do you have like a favorite one? Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned you could pass or skip any question.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make that clear. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Is there a sound or noise though that you love?
That I love?
Yeah, or just you like a lot? I don't know.
Well, I love the sound of a righteous march. Righteous, right? I love the sound of children, really small children playing. I love the sound at the dog park, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, the sign. I just walked up to the pharmacy and 5 blocks to I live in Harlem in New York City. So I walked up to the pharmacy and just hearing all the people on the streets, and it's a beautiful day. I don't know. That's it.
That's beautiful. I love those things. That sounds nice.
Well, Mrs. Bear is a preschool teacher.
Is that right?
Yes. And so I get to see the little ones all the time when I come to her work, or we have a special event like in the park the other day. So anyway, I like the sound.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then do you have a sound or noise that you dislike or you even hate?
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah. Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. What's that sound? Whoop,
it's the sound of the police.
That's the sound of the police. Fucking worst. Fucking worst.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Fuck the cops.
Yeah. So KRS-One said it well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I just got tense thinking about it. Right. I really have a disdain. Yeah. And I have a disdain for the police.
I hear them all the time up and down. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, Chicago, right?
New York.
Holman Square and all. You got fucking cops.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. Now we're on to the cheese question. I don't know if you mentioned where you were raised, but generally speaking, if you were raised in France, you get 3 answers. If you were raised in Wisconsin, you get 2. Everyone else gets 1 answer to this question unless you break the rules, which I can't stop you. What is your favorite cheese, Bear?
Cheese, glorious cheese. It's a song from Oliver. My favorite cheese, Richard cheese, Dick cheese. Dick cheese. It's my final answer.
Okay. Show's over, folks. Show's over.
I did not plan that answer.
That is the most unique answer to that question I've heard so far.
Well,
thank you.
Dick cheese is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Are we talking about like the lounge singer Richard Cheese?
Yes, Richard.
Okay, Cheese. Good. Yes, I'm glad I asked.
You needed the clarification, did you?
Wow, many layers to that answer. Many layers there. Okay, he's like a cheesy lounge act.
Oh yeah,
really funny.
He takes contemporary songs and just lounges the fuck out of them.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. I can't believe you did that to me. You actually had me in the first half there. You had us in the first half. All right, then. Now, if you were reincarnated as a plant or a non-human animal, what would it be if you could choose?
I'm so distracted by my phone ringing. Look what it's doing.
Oh, it's like, yeah. I was wondering if you're having an earthquake in New York.
No, the phone is ringing. I forgot to put it on silent. I use my phone as a camera. I don't have a camera. Yes. I have a $327 old, office PC that I stream with.
Nice.
And then I use my iPhone as a camera. Anyway,
That's hilarious. No, that it's all good now, I think, right?
I have a janky setup, but it works.
I had no idea. It really works. It's pretty good. If it's dumb and it works, it's not dumb.
Yeah. Right. So what was the question again?
God. Oh wait, hold on.
The one before.
Oh, the reincarnation. How did we get here? Reincarnation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question. You would think bear.
Yes.
But you'd be wrong.
Oh.
You'd be wrong. It would be dolphin. Definitively dolphin. Dolphin. Look, being a bird would be cool. Some kind of top predator bird. But I think there's much more interesting and odd things under the water that we don't know about. I would, and it's bigger. It's not bigger, but it's, so yeah, I think dolphins, they hang out in pods. They play a lot and they have a lot of sex with a lot of different partners. Right? Dolphins rule. And they're cute.
They're pretty cute.
Yeah. And they kill sharks.
Follow-up question. Are you a Posadist?
I have a Posada bot.
Same.
Posada bot is so great. It's so much fun.
They get high too, right? Did you mention that?
What's that?
Don't they get high? They get high on blowfish?
They do. They do. Yeah, I think boy, it would be really fascinating. Now they don't have opposable thumbs and they can't hitchhike, but that's okay. They can swim. What?
Perfect.
Opposable thumbs are really important for, most.
Yeah.
Not so much if you're underwater.
Exactly.
The other thing is octopus. Yeah. They're incredibly smart and interesting. And I just saw another documentary of My Octopus Teacher. It's amazing. Anyway.
My Octopus Teacher.
Yeah. I have a lot of free time, evidently.
Sorry, I got my motorcycles here. Okay. Awesome. Dude, I love an octopus. They're so cool. All right. Next up, what's the next question here? Is, right, God. If, Bear, at the end of your life, you got to heaven and there's God, what do you want God to say?
I'll skip this one. I mean,
pass.
I'm not a believer. So anything I'd say would, I don't want to waste people's time.
That's fine. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, then. Excuse me. Bear, is there an influential leftist that you could name, be them dead or alive, that you would love the chance to be able to meet and have a chat with?
God, this is the one question that I thought about that I couldn't really answer because there are so many great revolutionaries, past, present, and young, future revolutionary. There are so many great ones that would be so interesting. I mean, 10 years ago, I would have said hands down Chomsky, because I used to listen to this. Anyway, I don't want to go in story time, but I used to be a huge Chomsky fan, and I actually have a Noam Chomsky, little garden gnome. And he's holding books, and he's got little professor glasses on, and I took him to Burning Man, and we painted him up all in Burning Man colors and stuff, but now I take my Leninade and I force feed the Noam Chomsky the Leninade. But he's too anti-communist and too liberal. But I used to have him up there. So I would say any. I don't have a favorite, but any of the revolutionaries, Lenin, Trotsky, Stalin, Ho, Fidel, Che. Oh my God. I don't know. Just there's more too, right? But Mao, Sankara, I don't know, Asada Shakur. There's like Kwame Ture. There's so whatever. I don't know. I don't have a favorite. So
no, that's totally
all of it
cool.
would be good.
I love that. I try to ask that as we go into the next question. They sort of tie together. So really, you can go with this any way you like. Effectively, having a hypothetical conversation with any of those people. I don't know. Or you can skip. You could talk about what you might ask them, what they might say. You could talk about how what you think they might think of you, or what they might think of the world. Yeah, I don't know. You take it any way you like, or skip. It's a dumb question.
No, I'm happy when the older comrades that I know that have been in the struggle for a long time, like comrade Sarah Flounders, amazing. She's like 73. She's been in the struggle for 53 years, right? Like since she was 20, she has been in it. And I had her on my stream we talked for 3.5 hours. But she's the one that she's in my, she's a leading comrade in the branch. And so I've known her now for a long time. And she's the one that got me involved and kind of won me over to the party. But, Jesus, now I forgot the question. What would they think? Or what would they say?
Yeah.
I think that what they would say about me is that, hey, we're glad you're here. We don't hold your past against you. Everybody's got a past. And you might be late, but at least you're here. And pitch in where you fit in. Do it. Do it. And glad you're here. Every comrade is precious. Doesn't matter like how big or small your contribution is. If you have a skill set, there's something you can do, right? There's something you can do to plug into an organization and say, this is my contribution to the struggle, or this and this, or this big thing is what I do, right? Everybody's got something. And some people have a lot and some people have a little, but then again, pitch in where you fit in. And that's kind of my motto. And if revolutionaries saw my path and saw the material conditions I grew up with and understood my life and all the influences, and they said, oh, look at that. You made it to the left. Great. Without late shaming me.
No late shaming.
No late shaming.
We learned that.
No kink shaming. No late shaming.
No kink shame. No late shame. We should come up with a clever list of things. All right. Well, we may have touched on some of this already, but something like this already. But would you mind, Bear, naming maybe a favorite leftist book or even an author?
Lenin, Mao. Look, it's maybe not as much Engels, Marx, all of them, right? There's a Hakim, the YouTuber from Iraq. So Hakim just did a video not long ago that basically the principles of communism by Engels, like he laid out, here's some basic books. And there were like 6 of them. Great. Real basic. These are the easiest, most basic, the ones that can really start to open your eyes. And at workers.org/books, there's a whole list of the books that we use in our classes, in our political education classes. And, we read State and Revolution. We read On Contradiction. We read Combat Liberalism. We read What is Cadre. We read and study. It's not the hardcover books. It's under classes. It's classes, education. So all of these, if you scroll down, this is an enormously good resource here. And it'll show, it'll explain all sorts of things that people have questions about. What is a cadre party? What's the difference between that and a, electoral party, or just a party you sign up for and say, oh, look, now I have a card that says I'm a member of this communist party, but yet there's no praxis, right? There's no commitment. So there's, I don't know, a favorite leftist book author. I really don't have a favorite. I mean, I guess Lenin, right? Lenin and Marx.
Great.
And Engels. Yeah. Engels does not, like we always say Marxist, but it's really Marx and Engels. Come on. But it's easier just to say Marx, right?
Yeah, I think so. Shorter.
Yeah.
All right. So, oh gosh, no, it's the last question. Hey Bear, do you have streamer tips? You are a streamer yourself. You've popped into a couple streams in your life. I'm sure you can tell people what you think's important for a streamer to know, be them a beginner or even a veteran. What do you think? Any advice?
Asking me.
Everyone's got advice. Everyone's
the adjacent bear that can barely like. Oh my God! You should see my.
I love it.
Look, everybody's going to scream for their own reasons, right? Like you're. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but so everybody's got their own motivation and their own reason for doing what they're doing. I would just say be yourself. You have to be genuine. Everybody smells a snake. Oh, let me look in the camera. Everybody smells a liar and a snake. I keep looking over here instead of over here. But you have to be yourself. And I also, if you're serious, stay away from the drama. Stay away from the shit talking. Stay away from the drama. Don't get wrapped up in other people's bullshit. Do your thing. You do you. You do you. This is a very important. So when I first started DJing, I had an influential mentor named Dale Malone. The round mound of sound. Incredibly talented, wonderful train wreck of a human being. and I used to imitate because I modeled my shit after Dale because Dale was so successful and so good. It got to the point that people couldn't tell when I was playing or he was playing, because of like, God damn it. Well, he pulled me aside and said, damn it, Bear, you do you, I do me. Take whatever little things that you take this, take that, right? But add upon it and get your own stuff. You'll never grow if you just mimic someone else. Like, oh, I'm going to be the next Tom Hartman. Okay. Does the world need another Tom Hartman? No. Does the world need another, like, whatever? Like all the people who made it or the people that like, no, you be yourself. And whatever that looks like, that doesn't mean just do whatever and like screw up over and over and over, but be authentic in whatever you do. Yeah. You can't fully realize your potential and who you are and you can't if you're focused on mimicking someone else. Like you see a YouTuber that you like, and then you start to see other YouTubers doing the same exact thing. Well, why do you need both? Like, really? Is that, or don't be dishonest, right? Don't pretend like you know things that you don't know. It's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to say, I'm not sure, and yeah, don't be fake.
I love that bit. I say that bit too. Don't pretend to know things you don't know. Where'd you get that from?
Well, that's one of the things that I think I when I first came to your channel, I was like, oh, who's this cat?
Nice.
Right? I was like, oh, listen, all right. So he's smoking weed. He's a Bernie guy.
Yeah.
Right. But he's also got the anti-fascist action sign.
Yeah.
And I don't think you had the abolish, but you had Johnny Cash. So that's a plus. Right.
Yeah.
Right. He why does he wear black? Well, he wears it for the prisoners. He wears it for the oppressed, the downtrodden. That's why he wears black. Mm-hmm. Johnny Cash. So anyway, so I saw all that. I'm like, okay. And I liked your style because you're like smoking weed, and you're nice and you're mellow and you're kind. And your technical stuff is anyway. Rambling over here. Rambling, saying nice things about you.
No, why am I going to stop you? That's like my gift as an interviewer is just knowing when to pump the brakes and letting them talk. So when you're giving me the goods, like, all right.
So streamer tip, seriously, this is one that everybody like, and I'm a little bit not cruel, but rude, consistently on this. Fucking the sound has to be good. The most important thing about a stream, a video stream is the audio. The most important thing about video is the audio. You have to. If you can't be over here talking like this and getting just no. And if you have a top address, don't put your microphone like this. Oh my God.
Technique. Yeah.
Oh my God. This is a top address microphone. This is how it works. But I see people with the what do you call it? The one I used to use, the Blue Yeti, right?
Yeah.
And they're talking into the top of it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a prop. Maybe they have another working mic. I don't know. But bad audio will lose people like that. Because I think a lot of people aren't watching. I think they're listening.
Yes.
They're doing laundry. They're running around the house. They're cooking dinner. And so having stimulating audio, and then whatever clips you play, having clean audio is important.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want that leftist audio.
I mean, janky is kind of fun, and it is what it is. And there's not a lot of super rich people on the left doing this kind of stuff. But
it's hard. Good audio is always a thing you need to stay active and on top of.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey Bear. Well, that means we've reached the end of my questions for you. Do you have questions for me? It doesn't need to be entirely one-sided, but also you can skip this as well.
Actually, I'm curious about your abilities to do the thing with the OBS and the graphics and that. Like, is this something that you just developed in this last year, or did you already know a bunch of this kind of stuff?
I knew the bare minimum, like how to bring in like a picture or a browser. Like I didn't know anything.
Okay.
So effectively, everything in the last year is what you see is everything that I've learned in the last year.
And are you selling your services?
Yes.
To people?
Yes.
And you don't plug this very much, right? I mean, or I don't watch a lot because it's during the day. But I thought, I was curious if you do that professionally for other streamers, if you do that.
Well, one thing that I do, one thing I do produce is for Kenzo Shibana, his Meet the Left stream, which is done every Sunday night. It's fashioned in the form of Pardon the Interruption from ESPN. We used to call it Pardon the Ignorance, and now it's Meet the Left. And and so it's a small panel. It's Kenzo and 3 guests, and effectively I get to run the show for Kenzo. So unlike myself right now, I have to run the show and be the host. He just has to just be the host, and he's pretty much just like a guest. He shows up and he talks.
Gotcha. So you do the back end technical.
Yeah. And I also, Pinko the Bear, I offer my time for free to lefty streamers, like, up to an hour or so. We can talk about, and I give people advice, and I help them with, answer all the questions that they have and give them a little tips and tricks, etc. And I do that for free. That's me putting my money where my mouth is. I want to help out. In
a nutshell, how did you end up coming to the left? I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I have a guess, but how did you?
Okay, well, how about we do this, and you could tell me your guess, or you just tell us how we did afterwards. All right. Well, I'm often asked this, and I need to like come up with a nutshell version and like write it out. I always do it on the fly. Okay, so raised in moderately conservative family. Because of that, I mistakenly imagined a dichotomy of politics in the United States. You're a Republican, you're a Democrat. I'm like, well, I'm clearly not a Republican. So I did that for a while. I was the politically active lib. I was really totally annoying. But at the same time, everyone to the right of me that was active politically seemed to be on the right. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? We can't let them be louder. So like, let's all do a thing, everyone. Anyways, but, watching a lot of liberal media, stuff that was sort of pushing me left, but just towards the left, pointing towards symptoms of the problem, not pointing at the problem.
Right.
It took me to a place where literally in the past year, probably, again, while I'm learning how to stream, I'm also learning how to be a leftist, I guess. I had to ask myself those questions. You know, what is the problem? Is capitalism the problem? And then once I was convinced of that, then I had to ask myself, can it be reformed? Am I a sock dem? Am I a dem sock? Where am I? No, I believe it cannot be. I believe it's designed to do what it's doing, and it's got to go. And we need to evolve to the next state of our world, really, because truly, I think it needs to be a worldwide thing. But a lot of other things similarly. I was convinced that policing is totally fucked up. You can't fix it. It needs to be abolished. Lots of other things need to go as well. But effectively, it was again liberal media that sort of put me on what I like to consider like a moving walkway to the left, but it delivers you to a point and it doesn't take you all the way there. You gotta ask yourself the questions. I think that was my pathway there, at least.
I like that part. It puts you on the walkway. I think about how scaffold as a teacher, or how people that teach, you're building a scaffolding for the students to find their own way to the next level.
Yeah.
Right. Scaffolding is a concept, right?
Yeah.
Were you a teacher? Did I hear you say you were a teacher?
I taught in the public schools for a few years.
Okay, right on. So yeah, right. So, but scaffolding is important, and I think there's that whole liberal media milieu, the Young Turks and the Sam Cedars and the yada yadas, right? All of that stuff can put you on a leftward trajectory if you're coming from apolitical or on the right and you're disillusioned.
Yeah.
So it can do that, right? And Chomsky is a great gateway to the left, so to speak. But the gateway can also be a trap, and you can get stuck in that. You don't stay there too long. It's a gateway. You have to go through it. It's a gateway. And so it's, I don't watch any of the liberal media anymore, but I spent a lot of time watching it.
Yeah.
And moving left, because I had to disabuse myself of a lot of the concepts I had that were taught to me as a young person. Put me in that conservative mode and then the libertarian mode. And, and I grew up in Texas. Come on. So I haven't been there since 92, but so I'm glad to hear that. Because I think that's a pretty common theme. And I'm hoping that that more people on Twitch start moving leftward. And I hope there's more people hosting and streaming and sharing ideas to get people to move left, and less debate bro stuff, right? The debate bro thing, the panel thing, and drama. Yeah. But we can be serious and we can have fun. Yeah. And I'm glad to hear that. That's kind of what I thought you were how you were coming from.
Yeah. And I was thinking during that time, like, it's sort of the idea of like this the liberal media, like liberal media, literally. They're not left. They're capitalist. They're not anti-capitalist. Right. So like, they pushed me left. You know what I mean? And like, how far can they push you left when they are not left themselves? At some point, they're not going to be able to push anymore. And at that point, you need to be pulled. And that's when I started to explore leftist spaces, and I started to be pulled to the left. And that's when I became a leftist.
Which kind of play, like Richard Wolff or
that helped me, dude.
Or
yes,
who were you into?
So literally, it was by surrounding myself with literal organizers. I helped to produce, like I said, Kenzo Shibana's show, Meet the Left. He's an organizer. He gets it, and he knows those people, so I surrounded myself with them by producing that show every Sunday night. That was one of the reasons I wanted to do it. I wanted to surround myself with people that fucking knew more than me. I was entering a new space. I'm trying to figure out where I fit in. I'm trying to figure out my role, where I fit. Like, know your fucking role. Don't be Ryan Knight,
Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar with Ryan Knight.
He just sucks. That's all you need.
Proud socialist or something like that. Wasn't he?
He was proud resistor, and now he's proud socialist. He's going to be proud commie, and then who knows soon. Actually, he does have the hammer and sickle in his
I've seen people like hammer him, like that he's done something bad, but I didn't follow up on it. But I've only heard the name in the last 2 months.
Honestly, I'm sorry I brought him up. Like, the world would be better if less people knew about him. All right, let's put it that way. Yeah. So, what was I fucking saying?
Oh, I was asking you who your people were that got you moving left.
So yes, Kenzo, and et al. And also, yes, I started getting into Richard, Big Dick Richard Wolff, and he taught me the idea that during my entire life of working, I've always been stolen from the labor theory of value, right? He's passed that down to me, and I finally got it. And I was just like, holy fucking shit, they've been stealing from me my entire life. Yeah. Is that perhaps why I can't seem to like get ahead? Oh, yeah. And they seem to do it increasingly more and more and more. And I'm like, holy shit, taxes too, but not to. Oh, like holy taxes
taxes only takes this much of the wealth. The capitalists take this much. So yes. Where's the beef?
Good. Where's the beef?
God.
So.
Are you old enough to remember that? Well, where's the beef?
I do know the commercial. I don't know if I remember it as a kid or if I've just like watched so many replays. But yeah, David Graeber as well. Debt, specifically with Shitty Jobs that he hooked me with.
Yeah.
The article, not even the book. I was like, oh shit, this makes sense. Like, wow, it just clicked for me. And other things clicking along the way. People asking me, literally people in my chat going, hey Dan, what do you feel about private property? And I'm like, well, I want my own toothbrush. And they're like, no, hold on, Dan. And they held my hand through it. And I'm like, oh, you're right, dude. People can just like buy land and then I don't get to have it. And they get to have it. And no wonder they're richer than me. Okay, yeah. Anyways. And you know what else blew my mind recently? The idea of like these people who like, I don't know, do whatever the fuck they do with the land, either by knocking down fucking tons of trees or they just like, make a quarry, just a huge fucking hole in the ground. It's like we're in a huge, massive MMO game. And then some people just get to fuck up a certain part of the world for fucking eternity. And that really clicked for me a moment ago. Like I had to think of the world as a video game. How fucked up is this?
Mountaintop removal.
Those, yes.
Fracking.
Yeah.
Amazon clearing the Amazon rainforest, the world's lungs, killing the reefs, mm-hmm. the Great Barrier Reef. Like the destructiveness of capitalism cannot be underestimated. And climate crisis, like this is one of the things about moving left. I don't think that we've got time for that kind of traditional path of I'm going to go through this phase and go through this and keep moving slowly through the different gateways left. I think climate crisis and World War III, I think the pressure's on for people to really skip some of those middle areas and really jump in to an org. Join my Nightbot has two main things that my Nightbot says. Exclamation things. Things are fucked up and shit. And then exclamation join. Join an anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist, anti-racist organization today. And if your organization is not anti-racist, then don't kid yourself and think that it's anti-imperialist or anti-capitalist. Anyway, I don't want to preach, but that's it's really important, and we're running out of time now. I'll be dead before all this is settled, right? Like a lot. I mean, the struggle goes on for a long time, mm-hmm. right? So but that doesn't mean we don't plant the seeds of the tree that we might not be around for to enjoy the shade, but you plant it anyway. Because maybe you got kids, maybe you got grandkids, or maybe you just care about other human beings. What a concept. What a concept.
You don't have to have kids to care about the world?
Exactly.
Okay, wow.
You can actually care about people that you don't even know.
Yeah.
People that are suffering.
I'm so sorry. I almost made it feel like it was dumb for you to say that, but it is like that. Like it's so important for you to say that, right?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry, because
I was just like playing into it.
I liked it. I mean, and obviously, the implied sarcasm. Yeah, there's a lot of people who just, well, if it doesn't affect them, then it's not important. Well, it's trash. It's a trash take. It's a trash way of being, and people should call it out as trash, because that's how you get these systems that just stay in place and put the boot heel on people's faces for forever. And it's not okay. It's not okay. And it's up to us to change it. And the only way we change it is by organizing, agitating, showing up, taking care of ourselves, right? Taking care of ourselves so we're healthy enough to show up. Okay, I need to work on that. But but we have to take care of ourselves and show up and pitch in where we fit in, and make things better. Because really, at the end of your life, what do you do? At the end of your life, you want to be, I think you want to be proud of who you are and what you've done, right? I think. Maybe not. It's just me.
Yes, absolutely. But, all right, so I think we have some questions in the chat.
Oh, really? Nice.
Nice. You can ignore any of these. You could pass anything you don't like. Pinko the Bear, who do you recommend should join Workers' World?
So, people who are committed to revolutionary change, right? People that are interested in making the world a better place. Also, you have to have some capacity. You have to have some ability to, there's a really interesting, people should go to the cadre. What is cadre? At workers.org, there's under the classes section. And it kind of explains what Revolutionary Socialist Party is and what the cadre is and how this is different from other organizations. And we're not the only revolutionary organization that has cadre, right? But there's more responsibilities. Like when you say you're going to do something, like for an example, on Tuesday nights, without fail, it's my job as the editor of the Tuesday night, editor for the website to post the stories and put the pictures in and size it right and do it. It has to be done, right? When you say you're going to do it, you have to do it. You don't, I forgot, or I got high, or, I got in a car accident and I couldn't do it. Like, you have to do it. You have a responsibility to your fellow comrades. So people who can take it seriously should consider joining. And here's the thing: you don't have to know all about this stuff that we've been talking about. You just have to have a willingness. And the way it works is you start a candidacy. It's a year long. It's a process where you get involved in party work and you go to classes and have conversations with your mentors or your sponsors, right? It's a year long. And you start doing things. And in the doing is where you start to see more of what's going on here. And so, and the other thing is, you might join, you be a candidate for 6 months and go, this is not for me, right? It's okay. It's not for everyone, but for people who want to dig in, I think I welcome everyone, right? Good question.
Sign up today.
Yeah, right. And listen, and I want to say this is my favorite org. Mm-hmm. But there's PSL is fine too, and this is the RCP. There's all sorts of organizations out there, right? Okay. But I tend to like the Marxist-Leninist orgs, and particularly Workers' World for reasons. But those are my reasons.
All right. That's really good shit right there. And like I'm saying, dude, we're planting seeds. That's a good one right there. Really would love to.
Beautiful.
Dig into.
Any other questions? I don't have chat open because I didn't want to I didn't want to be distracted.
Oh, that's a good idea. They're asking what your Twitch was. It's Pinko the Bear. Someone's dropping the link there in Twitch. That's perfect. In the chat, that's good. Any other questions from chat? Questions from chat. I'm looking here. They're talking about Jon Favreau. Okay, I'm sure you get that. You're a handsome dude. You're a really handsome guy. Yeah.
Me?
Yes.
I'm a biscuit.
Handsome guy.
Silly.
Way to go. Okay.
Back in the day.
All right. Well, I'm telling you what. I got to tell you what. We're going to go ahead and put a cap on the chat right there. Carpe Pax, we've invited you here in the spirit of building leftist unity, strength, and power. You were a fantastic guest. This is a lot of fun, and hopefully we can return and continue the chat someday. Thank you again, buddy. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate the chance, and keep doing the good work.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Seriously.
All right. Peace and solidarity. Wait.
No fail.
I broke it again. Every time.
No.
It's Pinko the Bear. Every time. Hey, YouTube. You're watching a clip from my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/iDanSimpson, where you can follow for free and subscribe for only $5 a month. Thanks for watching.